niggas some gray outsides of these prisons, but yeah, this was our decision. Now I done been through it all. Robbed niggas and been robbed back. Shot at niggas and they shot back. So some losses, but came right back. I done been through it all.
2, 1, and we're live. Yo, guys, we are doing this shit. It's Ty, your girl, aka the Jovial Junkie, up in this bitch. I am in your ear. We did this shit, guys.
Yeah,
I
we
want to
did.
thank, yes, this is my bestie, my right hand, my ace. This is Hailey. Y'all are going to love her. She is literally me if I was never a crackhead. All right. So I'll introduce her more in a minute, but real quick, I want to thank you guys, everybody that has helped us get to this point. Everybody, Jared from the Blacklist podcast, Kai that bought these headphones for me. Like, this is not my podcast or her this is our podcast, all of us as a people, and we real bitches, so we're gonna have babies crying in the background. Y'all
Yes,
just gonna have to deal with that. All right, but we love you. So real quick, for anybody that is stumbling on this podcast for the first time and does not follow me on TikTok, my name's Ty. I am a recovering heroin addict. I've been clean for the last 7 years. But before that, your girl was wilding. I was doing any and everything to get the shit. I got a lot of crazy stories that we'll talk about. I'm going to be interviewing other people about theirs, and we're going to be doing true crime about those people, the forgotten people, the people from the streets, the sex workers, the drug users, the drug dealers, everybody. We're not going to ignore anybody, but we're going to have a prime focus on that. And Hailey brings a very interesting perspective because although she is not an addict herself, she is, how do I say, she's dealt with it a lot firsthand from loved ones. So she brings a unique perspective. Hailey, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah.
Tell us about you.
Yeah, so I don't really do social media too much, but so my name's Hailey. I'm, just a spicy Puerto Rican. I have a big ass family. Everybody goes through bullshit. So, yeah, I just kind of witnessed it. So I feel like, like Ty said, I do kind of bring a little bit of to be a sister, a cousin, whatever of loved ones who are struggling.
For
yeah.
sure.
So I think that's, kind of why we click,
Sure. And on top of that, the other reason why she is my co-host is because literally we fucking fuel each other. This is my motherfucking soul sister. Like,
Yo,
we
for
are
real.
literally, that's my literal doppelganger. Like, we look alike, we act alike, we sound alike. Like, technically she's my boss, but whatever. But I mean, we just be talking shit all the time and
Yeah.
dying
Shout out
laughing.
to all the light skins too,
Right. We throwing it up for Team Yellow.
That's right.
We could be anything. We're whatever the mission requires. We're just a motherfucker that can infiltrate any group. Cuban, Puerto Rican, Native, Black. We're whatever you need us to be at the moment. We're chameleons.
That's
That's the
right.
main reason why she's up on here, because we just click. And I think y'all are gonna really enjoy what we bring together.
Hell yeah.
So let's see. I'll interview you real quick. You'll be our first interviewee for the podcast. How old are you?
All right. 28. I had to think about that.
She's 28. I'm a little older than her. Y'all know I'm 33. She's a very together 28-year-old though.
Yeah.
So,
Leo too. I'm a
Yep,
Leo,
she's a
July 25th.
And y'all already know I'm a Sag. So Leos and Sages click. Crazy. All right, cool. So let's see. What else did everybody want me to talk about on here real quick? So basically, this is just going to be a little preview for you guys. We're just going to let you guys know what we plan on bringing to the table with this podcast. And then also we want your guys' feedback. So after you watch this episode, I want everybody to go to my page or message me until we get a number set up and let me know what y'all want to talk about. We got some real spicy shit coming for you. I already got a list of people that want to get interviewed. Our very first interviewee is going to be a convicted murderer that went to jail for 15 years and just got out. So, we're going to be talking about a lot of different kinds of stuff. So I guess I'll just tell you guys a little story about me, in case, you have not stumbled on me on TikTok. So like I said, I'm a recovering heroin addict. I've been through it all, man. I've been through it all. Now I'm a slowed down average Joe. I work a regular 7 to 5 job. I'm raising 3 kids. I just got married. Hailey also just got married 2 years ago, both of us.
Yep.
But before that, guys, I was wilding. I was wilding. So I guess I'll tell you how it all started. So basically, when I was a teenager, like 16, I started dabbling around with the usual suspects. I'd say, hydros, bud, acid, shrooms, whatever. And then when I was 17, I tried my first OxyContin. And if you guys are around my age, you already know that shit swept the motherfucking nation. It swept suburbia. Like, I don't know anyone my age that has not tried an OxyContin. So basically, me and my older brother, we had the same friend group, and he's 2 years older than me. And I saw him try an OxyContin when I was like 17. And oh fuck, I'm skipping an important chapter. Guys, listen, I don't know how to edit this shit, so you're gonna have to rewind with me for a minute. All right. So I skipped the chapter. All right, before the OxyContin, it was Xanax, my bad. So here we go. So I'm 16 years old. Like I said, I'm dabbling around with everything, right? Nothing too crazy. When I was 16 years old, right? So my grandmother had extremely bad anxiety. She had panic disorder. She had agoraphobia. She didn't go outside for like 5 fucking years, right? So from the time I was a little kid, anytime my grandma was nervous or panicky, Ty, give me my purse, grab me a pill. Ty, grab me a pill. Never once as a child did I question what those pills were. But when I was 16 years old, one of my brother's friends looked in my grandma's medicine cabinet, right? And we stumbled on the motherfucking motherload, bitch. My grandmother was prescribed 4 Xanax bars a day for 20 years, and she only took one. She put away 3 Xanax bars a day for 20 years. And when I was 16 years old, we stumbled on them. So that was the first thing that actually had its claws into me. I had always had insanely bad anxiety. I was always worried that something was going to happen to me. My mother passed away when I was 8 years old. Oh shit, my badass kid's coming in the door. It's a half day. Hey, I'm making a podcast. Be quiet. All right, so so yeah, we just real bitches, y'all. Y'all gonna have to roll with the punches with us, all right?
For
So,
real.
anyways, my mother passed away when I was 8 years old, right? And I never knew what happened to her. Nobody told me. She was just gone one day. That caused me extremely bad anxiety. I always thought whatever happened to her was going to happen to me. She was only 27 years old, you know? So I always had crazy bad panic disorder. I always felt, even though I was always popular, I always had a lot of friends. I always felt angry. I always felt different. I always felt like I had a hole in me. You know what I'm saying? And when I found Xanax, I am telling you, I thought it was the first time I was ever able to shut off my fucking brain. But y'all already know your girl's all gas, no brakes all the time. I could not just do one bar. I would do 10, 15. So when I tell you I was drooling on myself for a literal year, I mean that. Like my first job was at a diner and I literally was a new cook and I drooled on a motherfucking omelet in front of my boss. And he said, get off my line, go do dishes, bitch. And I did. That was my first demotion right there. So Xanax was the first thing that actually got its claws into me, right? I felt like I was able to shut my anxiety off for a minute. So I'm 16 at that point. When I'm 17, my older brother, who's 2 years older than me, he started doing oxys, right? And when I tell you the first time I did a bump of that shit, and I'm not trying to glorify it, I'm not trying to romanticize it. I'm just telling you guys my honest motherfucking experience. The first time I tried a bump of an Oxycontin, I'm telling you, when I think back on it, I swear I hear fucking violins. I felt like it was the answer to my prayers. I would find out that it was not, that, everything in life comes at a price, that there is a balance and a price to pay for feeling that good. So Oxycontin, me and my friends, we started doing it on the weekends. And as crazy as it sounds, because when you think of Oxycontin, you don't think of like a party drug, you think of like E or something that gets you hype. We just did it on the weekends. But senior year, spring break rolled around and we did it for 2 weeks straight. And this is how dumb and how, I shouldn't say dumb, but how ignorant my ass was, right? So after doing these pills for 2 weeks straight with my friends, right? I actually had just bought a couple for the weekend. I thought I had the flu. All of a sudden, I'm shitting my brains out. I'm puking, cannot get out of bed. And this is 2008, 2009-ish. Your girl, I thought I had the swine flu. My brother comes in my room like, what's wrong? I'm like, yo, I think I got the swine flu. Like, I'm dying over here. And he's like, listen, bitch, you're dope sick. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, you need to do a bump. I'm like, I got some shit, but I'm not trying to waste it right now because I only used it to party with my friends. He's like, listen, I'm telling you, you do that, you're gonna feel like $1,000,000. I really didn't want to waste it, but I'm like, all right, let me see what he's talking about. Did a bump real quick and boom, felt like $1,000,000. And after that, after I had that feeling and I knew I had to keep doing these pills to not be sick, then I was off to the motherfucking races, right? Crazy. That's when shit really went downhill for me when I started robbing people and just doing crazy shit to avoid that sickness. So that's just a little tidbit of my story that I'll tell you guys. Haley, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experiences with addiction at all or not really? If not, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I have, a few family members that struggle. So I firsthand kind of like saw it all. Um, my mom tried to be as strict as she could and, all that stuff, but life takes you in these courses that you don't, you could all get raised the same, but can't all turn out the same. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I just I would go years without talking to some family members and whatnot. And thank God everybody's good now, everybody's recovering. But I know it's an everyday
God.
struggle, so I do my best to try to let my loved ones know, like, hey, you're doing a good job. I appreciate you, you know,
Yep.
proud of you. I'm so happy we could talk now, so makes things a lot
Absolutely.
easier. But I know everyone has, their demons and their struggles. And I just try to, just be here, that's all you can do. So
And you're
that's
definitely there
it.
for everybody. I can vouch for that for sure. Yeah, so that's just a little bit. I'm not gonna lay it all out in the first episode, but basically, after I found out that I needed to do these pills to not be sick, I was I was wilding. I was doing all kinds of crazy shit. I was robbing my best friends. I was robbing my family members. I was hanging out and using people that I had no interest in just so that I could stay high all the time, you know. So if you guys are an addict, you already know when that whole OxyContin era was going on, it was literally a pandemic, and the pharmaceutical companies made those pills tamper resistant so that us addicts could not abuse them anymore. So when that happened, we were at a crossroads. Every motherfucking addict was at a crossroads. Like, all right, these pills are about to be gone, right? So we're either going to get clean or we're going to go to heroin. And you know, I was the last person in my friend group to make that jump. I it took me forever to turn to the needle. It really, really did. But I was with this girl. I had been with her for a couple years and she had been shooting up age for a while. It really like it was nothing, but I just was so at this point in time, 17, 18-year-old me, I'm like completely disgusted by the needle. I'm like, "Oh, I would never do that. I would never be that kind of addict. Like, yeah, I'm a pillhead, but I ain't using no fucking I'm not a heroin addict." But, eventually, I had to make that jump and I chose to turn to H. So I can remember it like it was yesterday. This girl, right? So what I would do is these pills were almost extinct. They weren't extinct yet, but they were about to be, right? So they cost literally like $120 in my town for one motherfucking pill. So I would have to scrape up $120 a day for one pill while this girl could get 20 bucks and be high for hours. And one day we were both so fucking sick. And she was doing her thing. She had some sugar daddies and she was tricking. I didn't know it at the time. I thought she just had sugar daddies, but she was doing her thing. And I was so fucking sick. I will never forget it. I was dying. And she was like, yo, listen, I got 20 bucks, bitch. 10 bucks for each of us. You are not going to be able to get anything. You may as well get a bag. And I was like, you know what? I'll never forget it. I put my fucking arm out, like, all right, whatever, just do it, just do it. Because I had been laying in my bedroom, fucking naked all day with a sheet, sweating, freezing at the same time, puking. I just wanted that fucking sickness to end. And so I put my arm out, and she hit me, and I'm telling you, it literally brought me to my fucking knees. I always describe it as, when you're fucking driving through a city and you hear it's pouring rain, you hear the rain hitting your car, you hear cars swooping by, you hear the wind, you hear people beeping their horns and talking and screaming, so much chaos. Then you go through a tunnel and it's just silent. It's just fucking peace for a second. That's that fucking feeling that I felt. And I really, honestly, at the time, remember thinking, like, oh my God, this is it. Like, this is what the fuck I've been looking for my whole life. But, little did I know that I shoulda knew, anything that powerful comes at a price, and, some people pay with their lives. I have been lucky enough to where I have not. I almost have, I've OD'd 9 times. I've lost best friends, my best friend in the world. I've lost several people. I've been homeless. I've, had to do shit with weird old men for money. I've done everything you can think of, So at that point in time, like, I really thought I had found I thought I had found the holy grail, you know what I mean? But you guys know how that story goes. So yeah, addiction is a subject that is very, very close to my heart. And even though I am trying to, make moves in this true crime pool, I will always have a spot in my heart for addiction and for addicts and for people in the struggle. And that's why I'll be talking about them a lot on this podcast. I feel like it's very easy to sweep an addict that has disappeared or been murdered under the rug. Like, oh, well, they shouldn't have been doing that. All right, well, they were. Did they deserve to die though? You know what I mean? So I'll be covering cases like that. Sex workers are another group of people that are just completely disregarded. You don't kick somebody when they're down, just because somebody, I always describe it as, as life through chapters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think back to that chapter in my life where I was fucking sitting on birthday cakes for old men for money, and I was robbing everybody I knew, and I overdosed in a Dunkin' Donuts bathroom one time. Like, I literally have died. But thank God there's Narcan. So it's like I could have died in that chapter, but thank God I did not, and I've got to make it here. But I think about the people that did die during that chapter, and I don't want their stories to end like that. So that's one of the main things we'll be talking about on here. But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap this shit up in a minute. I just wanted to give you guys a little preview of what we're gonna be doing on here. What do you think, Hailey? You think this
I
is
think
going
it's
okay?
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is.
All right. All right, cool. So guys, like I said, until I'm able to figure out how to get you guys able to send in voice messages, because I want to do a section where you guys can call in, ask questions, get advice. I mean, I don't know who the fuck would want advice from us, but maybe
Listen,
somebody.
I don't know.
um actually a lot of people at our job do come to us for advice, and I
That is
always say
true.
that she's like the devil on the shoulder and I'm like the angel. You know what I'm saying? Haley's like, fuck bitches, get money, and I'm like, let's find your soulmate. And like, you know but yeah, so so anybody that has any suggestions, anything that they want to talk about, go to my TikTok, the Jovial Junkie, and comment on any video or message me and let us know what you thought of this episode and what you would like us to bring to the next one. All right. The next one, we're going to be way more prepared and we're going to have a whole
Yes.
motherfucking syllabus. This is our little trial thing. And I think we did all right.
Yeah, I think so.
All,
Minus the crying babies.
yeah, it's all right. And also the biggest thing. So if you guys can see, so this is the artwork that I came up with for the podcast, right? So I believe somebody stole my name, Tales from the Trap. And so now I cannot use it. Well, I could, but I don't want there to be confusion when you go to find us. So our podcast is called Tales from the Trap, but it is going to have a Z at the end of Tales. Okay. Tales from the Trap, bitch. That's us.
That's right.
All right. All right. We fucking love you, you sexy ass bitches. We appreciate you. We are so excited for this motherfucking roller coaster we're about to go on. So I feel good
Yes.
about this shit. I feel really, really good about this. I'm
Yeah.
excited. And y'all already know I love every single one of you guys. So thank you so much for supporting us. And we hope you stick along for the ride. But I already know I got some riders that'll be here every fucking week. So the goal is, we're gonna start out with like one episode a week, but we would like to work up to 2. So I want one episode where we're just kind of bullshitting. Maybe we'll talk about our little, some addiction stories. We'll talk about maybe some Blueface, Christian, the tea, we'll talk about our little girl shit, whatever. And then Tuesdays will be like true crime day. We'll see. We'll see. But you guys let us know what you want and we'll fucking deliver. I'll tell you that much. All right.
Yes.
All right. Love you, sexy ass bitches. We will see you soon.
All right.
Now I done been through it all. Losing all of my niggas. Some gray outsides of these prisons. But yeah, this was our decision.